Well, we get another chance to dry out today before we get some more soaking rainfall as we head through tomorrow and then again on Sunday. Sunday's rain could actually have Isaac trained into it. We'll talk about that in a minute. Good morning. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still. I am tracking a mainly dry day today. Now, not to say we can't see an isolated shower maybe develop along the sea breeze front this morning, or even, well, I'm kind of eyeing is further inland later on this afternoon west of Highway 258. So Duplin County, Lenoir County, Western Pitt County, even up to Martin and Bertie County headed towards Tarboro. That's where I think the better chance of showers and thunderstorms will be as we head through the afternoon hours today. Tomorrow, a little bit more widespread storms, especially in the afternoon and evening hours. They start inland and make their way to the coast. And there could be some good tropical downpours associated with them as we head on through the afternoon and evening hours tomorrow. But that is going to start the pattern change in here. After Sunday's rainfall, it looks like much cooler and drier weather. Our first real taste of fall weather comes our way as we head into the first part of next week. Leslie off the coast there, already starting to see some of the swells from that affect us here in eastern Carolina. We do have that high rip current threat that we do need to alert you to if you are going to be headed to the beaches. Also, a small craft advisory is in effect from now through Sunday. But inland spots, mainly just the heavy rainmakers in here as we head on through the daytime hours tomorrow. So your Storm Track 12 planning forecast shows mixture of sun and clouds at worst today, upper 80s to near 90 degrees with those southwesterly winds. As we go overnight tonight, maybe a spotty shower north of Highway 264 can't be completely ruled out. Otherwise, though, we'll look for temperatures into the mid-70s tomorrow. Start off with some sunshine early, but by noontime, showers and storms start to develop, and they'll develop and work their way to the coast as we head through the afternoon hours, and that's when some of those could get a little frisky there with the heavy downpours associated with them. Though I still think we're into the mid to upper 80s for highs tomorrow. So all this moisture that's basically been left over here in western North Carolina through Tennessee is what is left from Isaac. Now, it's not Isaac itself, but it's the moisture that Isaac brought along with it, and it is going to get basically pushed eastbound with this cold front that is working its way through the area right now. Meanwhile, a little bit further off to the south here, talking of Isaac, this is where Isaac's mid-level circulation is, and it's already starting to develop an area of low pressure there in the Gulf of Mexico. This will need to be watched. This potentially could get pulled into our weather pattern as we head in through Sunday and give us some enhanced rainfall by then. So that is something I am concerned about and something we'll continue to track and alert you to. Meanwhile, we are going to start to see that change in our weather pattern here that I talked about as some cool, refreshing air finally makes its way in out of Canada. And you can see as far as our heights and temperatures are concerned here with the jet stream here, notice that cooler pocket of air starting to move in across the Great Lakes. And then watch as we go through Saturday and especially into Sunday how that trough kind of carves itself out across the eastern portions of the United States, bringing that cool, refreshing Canadian air mass to here in eastern Carolina. First time in about a month and a half, 2 months that we've actually had an air mass change, taking all that tropical air now finally off the coast as we start into early next week. This is what future track looks like. Again, that front out to the north and the west here. Meanwhile, for us here closer to home, it's a mixture of sun and clouds west of Highway 258. Better chance of seeing some of these isolated storms that will develop for later on this afternoon. Meanwhile, as we continue to watch the progress of that front coming through Chicago, Illinois, and Indiana, that is going to start shoving that tropical moisture left over from Isaac further off to the east here. So after some sunshine early tomorrow morning, you can see by early afternoon those showers and thunderstorms quickly do develop. Now, kind of a flip as we head into Friday. Start off with clouds and showers, especially on the coast early on, but then increasing amounts of sun as that drier wedge of cooler air comes in here for the first part of the weekend. Meanwhile, you'll notice lurking down here in the Gulf of Mexico, that is the low pressure with the mid-level circulation of Isaac. And as that next system digs in, that potentially could come up the coast here and affect us as we go in through Sunday. So that's something we'll continue to track and keep an eye on. Tropics remain very active. We've got Michael sitting out here starting to intensify, but this trough in front is really going to be getting it. And then here we've got Leslie, already starting to feel some of the effects of Leslie with the higher swells coming towards us, and it's finally starting to shake off that drier air as it wraps around here with the overnight convection kind of sustaining itself as opposed to what we've seen recently where it kind of pulses up and then loses it. So we'll see if that continues throughout the day today. But we are going to be tracking Leslie, and just as I mentioned last week when I started talking about it, it was going to be breaking west of Bermuda. Now winds at 63 miles an hour, moving off to the north-northwest at a very slow pace, and that is something we're going to continue to track as we go through this week. Notice still remains a tropical storm even through tomorrow, but by tomorrow afternoon and evening does gain hurricane status and slow movement through Saturday. Then it gets caught with a trough going off the coast and really develops and intensifies, potentially Category 2 storm going just west of Bermuda. Now, you'll notice now we open up that cone of uncertainty towards maybe far eastern Maine on the western side of that cone, but also Nova Scotia, potentially Canadian Maritime provinces could be at risk of this impacting them as we go into the middle of next week. For us here in Eastern Carolina, the main concern that we are going to have is going to be from the building surf. You will notice that some of the wave heights do start to get a little bit higher there, closer towards our coast, and as a result, we could be looking at 4, 5, 6 foot waves breaking on our shores here. So I'm sure the surfers are going to be out, but also gives us that enhanced rip current threat. So Storm Track 12 planning forecast as we go through the day today. Nothing more than an isolated shower or storm or two. Start off with some sunshine tomorrow. Showers and storms develop by the afternoon hours, any of which could have some heavy downpours associated with them. And then we do see it reverse on Friday. Storms and showers and clouds along the coast to begin with. And then we do clear things out from west to east for the afternoon hours here. Brief break in here for Saturday, and then if any moisture is going to be coming out of the Gulf, that would be the remnants of Isaac's mid-level center that could give us some enhanced rainfall in here for Sunday, which is unfortunate with the MS Bike Tour going to be in town here in Eastern Carolina this weekend. But again, you'll notice as we head into next week, pattern change, that cool, refreshing Canadian air coming our way. We may be struggling to get it into that 80-degree range for Tuesday with overnight lows in some of the deeper inland spots into the 50s. Have yourself a good Wednesday. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still.